Bronx Documentary Center's Youth Photography Program, or Youth Photo League, has provided more than 400 middle school and high school students from the South Bronx free documentary photography and multimedia classes, as well as a year round college success program. And this year, they celebrate their 10-year anniversary with the exhibition Through Our Eyes Youth Photography at the Bronx Documentary Center 2013 through 2023, which showcases award-winning photography by 85 students published in English and Spanish. And joining us now to share more is the Bronx Documentary Center's creative director, Mike Kamber, and youth education manager, Ricardo Partida. Hello and welcome, gentlemen.
Hello.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for making the time. Congratulations on this 10th year anniversary. And most importantly, congratulations on making a difference to the next generation and for the next generation. Let's talk a little bit about the history of the Bronx Documentary Center. Mike, would you care to open up with that?
Yeah, we took over an abandoned building here on Cortlandt and 151st Street in 2011, and we began to do exhibitions. But our real goal was to do youth education, and it took us a couple of years. So it was 2013 where we really got the youth education up and running. We had a couple of kind of old surplus cameras that we'd gotten, and kids began to come in the door immediately, and it's just grown year by year. And now we have about 100 students year round, and we've served, as you said earlier, over 400 students.
That's amazing. It's remarkable, actually. And so, what does it take for one to qualify? Do you partner up with schools? Do you put out an open call? How does that work?
Yeah, we do an open call every year. We do an open call mostly in the summertime, but throughout the year we go around to schools doing presentations. We all live in the community, so we know a lot of people here, of course, a lot of families, and we're out on the sidewalk, and we're constantly doing outreach. So we have kids coming in all the time, and we sign them up, and as you said, everything is free.
So before we speak to Ricardo, how many other departments are there within the Bronx Documentary Center?
Well, we've got our exhibitions, so we do about 12 exhibitions throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a big dark photo lab department, so we do a lot of analog photography, and we actually have one of the largest working darkrooms in the United States. We also have one of the biggest photo libraries in the United States with over 3,000 photo books. So we've got a lot of different things coming together here, and it's a great place to come on the weekend because you can actually see a couple of exhibitions, see the photo book library, visit the darkroom. There's a lot to do.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I didn't know that. So it's good that we're sharing that with our audience. Wow, 3,000 photo books?
Yeah, we've been accumulating them. It's our Tim Hetherington photo book library, and it's again, we're just breaking down a wall to expand it into the next room and make it bigger. So we've got a lot of books.
And so this library that you're referencing, it's just open to the public regularly every day?
It's open on Sundays. Right now it's open on Sundays from 1 to 5 p.m. and we're seeking funding to open it up other days as well. Or if you make an appointment, you can email us. Our information is at bronxdoc.org. You can email us and we can make an appointment and have you come on another day.
That's wonderful. We'll revisit that again, but let's get to know Ricardo. Ricardo, how long have you been in this role of youth education manager?
Well, I've been in this role for about 2 years now.
2 years. Can I ask, are you an alum of any sort?
No, I'm not an alum of any sort. I found out about the Bronx Documentary Center through a documentary that they did on essential workers, and I really just enjoyed what they were doing on the community. And I came, and it just was like I wanted to volunteer and I wanted to be a part of it. And 2 years here I am.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Like that within itself is hopeful. And we didn't really discuss documentaries, but which is what I primarily know you guys for. So it's wonderful that we're talking about the photography, but that's another sector I kind of wanted to tap into, especially now that you're mentioning this documentary referencing the essential workers and how it enrolled you to become a volunteer and how now you're hired, right, in your 2 years in working with the next generation, influencing the next generation. So what kind of photography background do you come with, and what exactly are you seeing as success stories?
Well, as success stories, I come from a video background. I studied film, and to me, I always liked that. I always liked visual arts, the visual arts. But there was a need for me to serve people, and for a little bit, I actually was training to be a firefighter, and then it just wasn't my calling.
Well, that's a whole
But the
360.
it was, it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. And then the Bronx Documentary Center did a documentary about the essential workers during COVID. And because I used to be an essential worker, I realized that I was like, wow, this is insane. They're utilizing photography to really change and to allow people to like see what's happening within the community. And that's what really drew me into the BDC. In terms of the work that we do here, we focus on documentary, but we also focus on facts. We have the students go out to the streets, talk to people, take pictures of people, but also listen to the stories that they have to tell. And then we come back to the classrooms and we discuss. We have these discussions that really open up the minds of the youth. And through the method or through the uses of a simple camera, it serves as a communication tool for them.
It
And
sure
and we
does.
and we also have a student newspaper that Ricardo runs.
Yeah.
And so I love all of this, and even just experiencing the photos myself, I was really captivated by the storytelling that is being told. And so I wondered how many people participate at one time, and how do you differentiate styles, right? I mean, obviously they develop in their own, but we're talking about documentation, right? We're talking about narratives, and also we're talking about the multiculturalism that lives in the Bronx, and you've captured that, or rather, they've captured that, at least from what I saw, and the way they've been captured. You can tell. I mean, honestly, I was like, "What? These are teenagers capturing this?" So I just wonder what that process is like in the classroom. Oh, look, we're going to look at this, right? So, yeah, this one really blew my mind because some people got attitudes and some people posing. Yeah, there's
I
that
mean,
yes.
almost all of our kids live in the neighborhood or live in the Bronx. Probably 98% of our kids live in the Bronx. So they're photographing their lives, they're photographing their neighbors, their friends, their aunts and uncles. We do take them to protests, like this, as long as we think it's going to be calm. We'll take them occasionally to a demonstration or something that's important. So we're also covering Bronx events with them, and we're teaching them to be journalists, but also to kind of represent their community in a way that we think is positive and fact-based, and hopefully does away with some of the stereotypes that you hear.
Now, as we're looking at the images, how many images are going to be on display for the exhibition?
We'll have about 70 images on display.
Wow, 70. How many
It's a big show.
photographers?
We've got, well, in the book, we've got about 200 photos. The book is actually
The
going to
book,
be delivered today.
200. Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're very excited about that. So we've got about 200 photographers in the book and about 70 in the exhibition. And so they're excited. They're very excited about their exhibition. And we have a lot of, alumnus at college who are going to come back and visit to be part of this.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because I wanted to talk about that program. So let's talk a little bit about the college program that you also offer.
Definitely. So our college program is basically what we want to get these kids is we want to get them to college. College is a lot of them come from immigrant backgrounds. Their parents don't know the process of how college works in America. They don't know about financial aid. They don't know what schools to go into, and they also don't know about financial literacy in terms of like taking out loans and anything. That's where we come in. We believe that photography. We use photography as okay. This is how this is our language on the community.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, we want to get them to study whatever they want, but go to college and not be burdened by debt and actually better their lives, because that's the point of this program. one of these programs for them to really, go out there into the world and become, great storytellers or whatever it is that they want to do.
Wonderful, and thank you for bringing here to our viewers. Here's to continuing to leave things better than we found them. Mike Kamber and Ricardo Partida, Bronx Documentary Center's Creative Director and Youth Education Manager. Once again, the Through Our Eyes Youth Photography at the Bronx Documentary Center 2013 through 2023 exhibition is on view now through March 3rd, 2024, with the opening reception happening tonight from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Bronx Documentary Center, located at 364 East 151st Street in the Bronx. For more information and gallery hours, visit bronxdoc.org. Stay tuned, there's more open when we return.